Tony, thanks for being here. Really appreciate your time. And if you could you introduce yourself, talk a little bit about the region you cover, and then maybe give us some feedback on how planning and conditions are going this year?
Yeah, sounds good, Dave. Thanks for having me on.
You bet.
So I'm Tony Gear. I'm the East Regional Claims Manager and pretty much cover Florida to New York. So pretty big territory. Weather is it's always a factor somewhere. So planning wise, southeast, what I call southeast would be our Georgia area, southern Georgia. It's been going pretty well. Little dry in places, but overall temperatures were good. Moisture was pretty much norm. So planning's gone well there. Pretty much the whole region was fine up until probably late April, early May. So northern Alabama are from May on, we're pretty wet. We've Some areas have been 6 inches of plus. If you move over into northern Georgia into South Carolina, it's kind of a trend going up the coast where we're seeing 2 to 10 inches in some of that area in Georgia. So our onions are getting impacted. Um, Planting was going pretty well, so we'll see how this is going to slow things down. We've gotten some replants in that northern Alabama area coming in. If you move on up into North Carolina, it's been typically a little dry, but like I said, this rain is coming in the last few days, so we're seeing a couple inches in that area as well. Maryland was also dry, but pretty much on the norm for this time of year on our planting for corn and beans. Um, Pennsylvania's been pretty good. The rain east has we've gotten quite a bit, but our business isn't so concentrated over there. So where our business
Mm.
is in Pennsylvania, we've been pretty well. But that's generally what we're seeing. This wet pattern looks like it's going to hold for a few more days. They're talking into maybe next week a little bit. So expecting some replants, maybe, prevent plant could be a possibility as we get toward the end of May if we don't dry out a whole lot. So we'll keep an eye on that. But
So are we generally looking a little better than you anticipated a month ago, or are we
yeah,
looking
I would
about
say
same
I
as?
would say we're looking about the same. I mean, we were a little bit dry in places, so that's kind of going away in some spots. But yeah, I'd say we were looking pretty much same.
And how about like permanent crops? Are you seeing any concerns or any issues? You obviously you mentioned you got a very, very large region, so a
Hmm.
bunch of variety of or a big
Yes.
variety of permanent crops. But how are those looking?
I mean, everything we've had some issues on some apples. We've had some cold weather on those that has hurt them a little bit. We're not at this point, we don't know all the damage that we're going to have, but we are anticipating that we're going to be light on that crop. Yeah, so peaches are looking good. We've had a few hailstorms here and there. Nothing, nothing significant.
Gotcha. Well, definitely good news. So given the breadth of the region that you cover, and that geography is significant, are there any things that you're really keeping an eye on over the next month or two, or are you kind of just generally looking for any trends that kind of emerge?
Yeah, I'm just more curious about how this if this wet pattern continues through the end of the month because we started getting into our cotton final planting dates and our peanuts. So that's probably my biggest concern would focus to that area the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Gotcha, gotcha. So just well, anything else you want to add, just general from the region? I got one more question for you, if I could.
No, I mean that's pretty much sums up the region pretty well.
So it sounds like you're concerned about some washouts, maybe some replants, things like
Mhm.
that. But is there one thing that you'd like the listeners kind of to take away as advice that you'd advise them to proceed if they think they have a loss or if they have maybe
Yeah,
some concern?
yep, definitely. I would say the biggest thing is get those replants. If we're going to have replants, farmers are going to be out there doing it. Get those turned in right away. Give the adjusters a chance to make the conversation with them and make sure everybody's on the same page. That would be my biggest takeaway going into what we think we'll have some issues on.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, all right. Well, hey, Tony, thanks for that overview and kind of your thoughts and comments and insight on what we're seeing out east. Really, really appreciate your time.
Yep, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, Tony.